You don't need to focus too hard right now. If you're tired, you can just let this play. Sometimes understanding doesn't come from thinking more. It comes from hearing the right words at the right time. And if someone has been living quietly in your mind, this is for you. You tell yourself it's been long enough, that you should be over it by now. But then something small happens, a song, a place, a random thought, and suddenly they're back. Not in a dramatic way, just quietly. You remember how it felt to wait for their reply, how one message could lift your mood, and one silence could ruin your day. You weren't asking for much, just clarity, just consistency, just to know where you stood. But instead, you lived in almosts, almost chosen, almost loved, almost secure, and those almost left a deeper mark than a clear ending ever could. Here's something important. The human brain is not designed to release things that feel unresolved. When an experience ends clearly, the mind files it away. But when something ends without answers, the mind keeps the file open. It waits. That's why you don't obsess over people who treated you well and left honestly. You obsess over the ones who left you confused. Because confusion creates attachment. In psychology, this is called intermittent reinforcement. Sometimes they gave warmth, sometimes distance, sometimes attention, sometimes silence. And your nervous system learned to stay alert, always hoping the good version would return. This isn't weakness, it's conditioning. Your brain learned that love meant unpredictability, so peace now feels unfamiliar, and unfamiliar feels wrong. What you're really holding on to isn't them, it's hope. Hope that one day they'll finally see you. Hope that the connection meant as much to them as it did to you. Hope that the pain was leading somewhere, and hope is powerful. But hope without evidence becomes self-abandonment. You kept giving understanding to someone who kept giving excuses. You kept waiting while they stayed undecided, and slowly your needs became negotiable. That's not love. That's survival. Here's the part most people avoid. If someone truly wants you, you won't need to analyze their behavior. You won't need to decode silence or justify inconsistency. Interest is clear. Effort is visible. And someone who keeps you unsure is already giving you an answer. It's just not the one you hoped for. Closure doesn't come from another conversation. It comes from acceptance, from seeing patterns instead of potential, from choosing reality over imagination. Ask yourself this, gently. Who did you become while waiting for them? More anxious? More self-doubting? More patient than you should have been? That version of you was trying to be loved. But the next version of you doesn't have to try so hard. You don't need intensity to feel connected. You need safety. You need consistency. You need someone who doesn't disappear when things get real. If they cross your mind again, that's okay. Thoughts don't mean attachment, they mean memory. And memory fades when it's no longer fed by hope. You didn't lose something rare. You released something incomplete. And what's meant for you won't leave you questioning your worth. Stay with that thought. Let it settle. You're allowed to want more, and one day, more will feel normal.